Hey there, folks. How's it going? Hope everyone's doing well. I just wanted to jump on here and tell you a little bit about something kind of cool that I'd like to announce. I've been thinking a lot about practicing lately and the amount of practicing that I'm doing and what it is that I'm practicing and whether or not I'm getting results from that practicing. Basically, all the things that we all worry about all the time when we want to get better, because practicing obviously is how we get better. And if we feel good about the way that we're practicing, then we probably feel good about the way that we're making progress. But if we have doubt about the way that we're practicing, or if we're not practicing very often because of that doubt, then it's pretty fair to say that we're not going to be getting much better. So how do we practice on a regular basis and feel good about the practicing that we're doing? Well, I don't really have an answer to that, except I think maybe I have a method that I'm going to follow and maybe you could follow that's going to help us do that. I started a Facebook group, and there's a link in the description of this video where you can go join that group, and I suggest that you do. And what you'll find when you get there is a picture from this notebook, which is the notebook where I have started taking notes about my practicing, the amount of practicing that I'm doing, what I'm practicing. It's not super detailed, but it's enough that I can at least keep track of what it is that I'm doing. It's just something I'm trying. If this ends up being a really productive way to practice, then I'll make a video on that as well. But the important thing is, when you go there, you'll find a picture from this notebook of what I practiced today. And what you're going to do is reply to that, and you're going to reply with what it is that you practiced today. Of course, when you watch this video, we'll be talking about yesterday. So what did you practice yesterday? Did you practice at all? Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. I don't care if you practiced for 5 hours or if you practiced for 10 minutes, or if you didn't practice at all, or maybe it's been a week since you practiced. Maybe you haven't played banjo in a while and you've been looking for an excuse to start again. It really doesn't matter what the number is for how much time, or if you practiced anything interesting, or if you practiced well. All I want is for you to reply to that picture in this Facebook group with the reality of whatever it is that you did. Because here's the deal, you don't have to practice every day. I don't practice every day. I practice most days, but there are definitely days when I don't. Sometimes I don't practice for more than one day in a row. That's not really the point. The point is staying engaged with the thing that you want to be good at. And this is how we're going to do that. We're going to stay engaged by showing up every day and just reporting the reality of what it is that we've been doing. So I know for me, these notes that I've been taking, if I just take a look at what I did today, I broke my practicing down into 30-minute chunks. One of those 30-minute chunks says that I improvised slowly with a metronome on the tune Squirrel Hunters and the tune Denver Bell and Fireball Mail. It's not really groundbreaking stuff, but that's just what I did. And if that's all I practice, then that's all I'm going to write. If I practice more than that, I'll just write whatever it is. It doesn't have to be anything in particular. It just has to be something that you can show for your engagement with what we're trying to do here. And here's how this is actually going to work, how this is going to help us practice more and practice better. We're putting a little bit of skin in the game. Not a lot, but a little bit. Because if you go to that Facebook group right now without having known about it, you didn't know about it yesterday, so how could you have prepared and practiced all the right things, just the right amount, so you could show up and tell everybody, yeah, I'm doing all the right stuff. I bet there's some of you who's watching this right now. If you think about what you did yesterday in terms of practicing, you might say, yeah, I didn't really practice at all. It's actually been a while, and I don't know, maybe I'll practice some more and then I'll show up and say, yeah, I've been practicing. Well, no. Just go there now and be honest about exactly what you did. And if you feel like that's not what you should have been doing, then now you have a really good indicator of maybe what you should do today and then what you should do tomorrow. And over the long term, that's going to shape how we feel about practicing in general. It's not going to be something that gets away from us because we're going to show up every day and we're going to say, yeah, I practiced 30 minutes and I practiced these fiddle tunes. Or you're going to say, yeah, I practiced 4 hours. It was a great day. I did all this cool stuff. And then you're going to have days when you say, I didn't practice at all. I just didn't have anything, didn't have any time, didn't feel like it, just didn't want to do it. But by showing up and being honest about that and saying it and telling us really what's going on, you're actually more likely to come back and practice the next day. But it's not just that. This is actually something that we're going to do together. I'm asking you to do this to help me as well, because in order for this Facebook group to exist and be of any value, there have to be people there participating. And for the people to participate, there has to be someone running the Facebook group, which is me. And that means that I have to be there posting every day so that people can reply to that with their practice time and their practice notes and whatever it is. So if you show up and do that, you're going to hold me accountable to keep the show going, to keep doing it every day. And I practice on a regular basis. I practice pretty much every day. But if I know that there are going to be people showing up and looking at whatever it is that I write down, then it's going to be a lot easier for me to be a little bit more organized and give it a little more thought when I practice, so that I'll have something to show for the time that I've spent with the instrument over the course of the day. And look, there's a lot that I could say about how this is going to help you and help me, and how much we're going to practice, and how productive we're going to be when we practice, and how great it's going to be. These are all true things, but just go check it out. Just see what's going on over this Facebook group. Click on the link in the description and just try it. Just comment on that first post. It's just a picture of my notebook, just the notes from my practicing, and just tell us what you did. Be honest about how much practicing you did, what it is that you practiced, whether it was a lot or nothing. It doesn't matter. And then just show up again the next day and do the same thing. Obviously, no one can practice for you and no one can make progress for you. That's something you have to do by yourself. And it's hard work, but you're not the only one doing it, so you don't have to do it alone. So take a look at this Facebook group and we'll do this together. We'll make progress together. Anyway, that's all for now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.